will be giving away a free disc at the end of May in a raffle for those who leave a comment on episode 1. We wish you the best of luck.
Discgolf.meTV sits down with Tour Pro Big Jerm Jeremy Colling in this week's Drive and Approach.
6 years ago, this week actually, this is the middle of May, I came home from college at Appalachian State in Boone, North Carolina, where I was playing a lot of ultimate frisbee. And a couple of my friends from high school were going out to a park called Renaissance that most people have heard of by now. And we decided to play around disc golf, and it was just the first time, and it was just instant love. That summer when I started playing in 2006, I was a camp counselor, and it was the first time I ever done that. And it was at a camp in the mountains of North Carolina where they had a disc golf course. I became a disc golf instructor because I was really wanting to learn how to play myself, and so while I was teaching the kids how to play, I was also actually teaching myself. When I came back from the camp that summer, I just really wanted to get involved as much as I could. So I was going to all the club events in Charlotte, and we were having probably 3 or 4 club events a week. Now we're up to like 5 or 6 club events a week. I was playing all the time. It's all I wanted to do. It wasn't long before I was throwing as far as people who had developed their skills for many more years than I've been playing. I'm 6'6", so distance was always easy for me just because I can create a lot of leverage, and it was just something that was really natural for me. When I was still playing amateur, Discraft took a risk and they picked me up in the winter of 2008. They don't do that very often, so it meant a lot to me. And later that summer in Kalamazoo, I went on to win the 2008 Amateur World Championships. And that really changed my life. That was a big goal for me. And from there, I started playing pro and made it my livelihood. And now I travel around and I make it my living. Before I started playing disc golf, I was hanging out with people that were my age, similar, interested in the same things I was interested in, which was typically basketball or partying, whatever kids my age were doing when I was 20. When I started playing disc golf, I met a whole new group of people. We're all having similar interest in respect that we're all playing disc golf, but I started hanging out with people that were 30 years older than me, 15 years younger than me, everything from kids to like senior citizens almost, and people from all different walks of life. And so getting to know the people in disc golf is one of the things that's made disc golf so different. More different than anything I've ever gotten involved with in my life. The camaraderie with the people that I'm competing with and I'm traveling with is what makes me continue to do it. Some of the best people, some of my best friends I've ever had in my life are disc golfers. And it's important to have a really common goal, whether that's improving yourself or whatever your goals are in life. A lot of the people that travel and play disc golf have really similar goals. We're all striving to become #1 in the world, and we're all trying to, reach this dream of promoting disc golf to become one of the best sports in the world. I mean, it already is, but the world doesn't know about it yet. And we all feel like we are in a unique opportunity where we can help reach out to people with our performance, with helping out, giving clinics, and whatever we can do. It's a really it's a special bond that we have. So the disc golf community is the thing that really makes disc golf so special to me. Well, I actually had a situation last week where it was just amazing. It came down, it was a one-day tournament, so it was just kind of a small local thing in Charlotte. And one of the local pros, Michael Johansson, and myself were battling, and he put one under the basket on the very last hole, and we were tied. I kind of messed up my drive a little bit, and halfway up the fairway, I'm thinking, man, I just lost a tournament, and, it was awful. And I'm stepping over my mini, and I'm looking at my putt, and I'm like 100 to 115 feet away, and visualized it in the basket, putted it, and it went in. And just that feeling, like I couldn't control my emotion. It's when you throw a perfect drive down the middle, or you make a long putt, or whatever you do, and it's just in that clutch moment. There's just no words to describe it, and it's just complete euphoria. I've never had the rush of emotion in any other sports the way I have when you get a hole-in-one or when you just split the fairway. So there's no words to describe it. It's just, honestly, it's like just the greatest feeling in the world. that's almost even more exciting, because when you're in the moment, you don't want to lose yourself, and it's important that when you're playing golf to not get too excited, either positive or negative. But when you see someone else throw an ace, or they just do something that's absolutely outstanding, you can lose yourself a little bit because it wasn't you. You know, when you throw it, you want to be still focused on the next shot. But when it's someone else, you can really appreciate, because you can see where they're at, and you can feel the tension where they're sitting in a bad lie and they throw one in the basket from the rough, or they're standing on a tee pad and it's a tough hole and they ace it. You just want to celebrate with them. So that's actually really, honestly, I get more excited when I see somebody else throw a great shot than I do sometimes. Well, I do a lot of sales where I'm from, and I see a lot of people that are just beginning that have a full bag, and I always think that that's just unnecessary. It's great to have a lot of choices, but I really feel like not enough people that are beginning the game really focus in on the discs that will help them learn the game the best. And by that I mean straight mid-ranges, straight drivers, and learning how to putt. It's so important that you learn the discs that you're throwing. And I feel like all too often people look at the name on the disc and they focus on how it's supposed to fly, and they don't actually focus on how this individual disc flies. And I feel like if people just wipe the stamp off discs sometimes and just focus on on only the flight, it would really help people out a lot. You know, just because a disc says it's a disc, you know, Discraft does an amazing job producing consistent discs. You know, you should be able to buy a stalker that flies like a stalker flew 2 years ago, or a buzz that flew like a buzz 10 years ago, or a predator or a force. But you know, no one's perfect. So just because one disc is slightly less stable or more stable, you really need to focus in on how that disc in particular flies. And if you can really learn a couple discs in your bag, you can judge other discs by that disc that you know well. So becoming familiar with the discs that you own before you go out and spend a fortune on, you know, a 25 disc bag is, I think that's the fastest way to improve in the game. Facebook's a great way to follow me. Usually wherever I go, I put something on Facebook about where I am, what I'm doing, if I had a great round, if I had a poor round. Also, discgolf.com. They usually post the results from top finishes from Discraft team players. I have actually my own website that I'm going to start posting blogs on, so keep your eyes open for bigjerm.net. Discraft's my biggest one. They help me out so much, and without them, it would just be, it would be really tough to do what I do. Grip equipment has given me the greatest bag on tour. Just if you enjoy the game, get out there, have fun, and just have a good attitude, and let's all promote disc golf as much as we can.
Come on now, take a stand. Everything you need is right inside your head. Your thoughts are clear, your dreams